Today we're going to be looking at the 1000 Heritage Urban Bike Helmet. So here we have the 1000 Heritage Helmet. It's a helmet that really made a big splash back in 2015 when it was launched on Kickstarter. Now the goal with the Heritage Helmet was to really eliminate the stigma of a bike helmet. A lot of people don't wear it because it doesn't look cool. So what 1000 did with the Heritage is they brought a lot of cool retro and urban design elements into a really safe helmet designed for commuting and urban use. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the box. Before we do that, let's take a moment to appreciate the box. This actually came just as you see it. So simple cardboard box. You don't have a box within a box with a bunch of plastic and peanuts in there. So really environmentally friendly design. It's really nice to see. So let's go ahead and pop it open. Specs wise, this is a really affordable helmet. It comes in at $89, so really accessible. Now what's really cool about these helmets is since their launch back in 2015, 2016, they really evolved the design. It's offered in quite a few variation color designs, over a dozen currently, with really cool unique color schemes. So color schemes you wouldn't normally see with a helmet. Traditionally it's pretty much solid colors. With this you get stripes, you get matte, you get metallic finishes. So really cool. So it makes a big bold statement. This is the GT stripe version, size medium. So nice little retro touches like the rivets. You get their pop lock feature. This is a little removable cover that's magnetically held in place. This lets you put a lock through the helmet. So if you're out and about, you can lock it. And if it ever gets stolen, they'll actually replace the helmet for free. You get really cool design touches like the flags here for the GT stripe. And then you get a dual dial direction fit system that's integrated. You get a integrated bill with the cap to block the sun. You also get a magnetic buckle here, so really cool, something we see in a lot more premium helmets now. You also get these really cool vegan leather straps, so they feel really nice and soft and they really look great, especially with the kind of baby blue color. Now this helmet is inspired by the GT40 Gulf livery race car color scheme, so it really looks great here. Now in the box you get the bag, a nice knitted bag instead of just a plastic bag. It lets you store the helmet. You get an owner's manual, which I'm sure everyone's going to read, a little pamphlet about their anti-theft guarantee, so pretty simple overall. So now let's take a look at the weight of the Heritage helmet. Now I believe this is the second generation, as it's the latest version. If we place it on here, it comes in at 468 grams, so quite heavy actually. So now let's take a look at the fit and finish of the 1000 Heritage helmet. Now obviously right off the bat, this is just a really gorgeous helmet. You don't typically see helmets with these kind of color ranges and design elements. It's really obvious they've gone the extra length to make sure there's a helmet that's really visually attractive, so you're not embarrassed to be seen with it and rather actually ride with it. And especially in this GT stripe color scheme, it's definitely a color scheme we've never seen with the different helmets. And it's definitely something we'd be excited to wear, which is really their mission statement, to make sure people wear helmets. Now the design of this helmet looks a lot like a older motorcycle style helmet. So you get this more lid style built-in visor molded directly in and with kind of rivets exposed. So really cool. Nice to see this integrated for a bike helmet. This is something you can easily wear in a moped or motorcycle and nobody would know any better that's for cycling. Now with this color scheme and really nice finish, it's a matte finish with a kind of rubberized texture to it. Feels really nice. As with a lot of commuting helmets, you don't see a lot of vents. They say there's 7 vents, but they're on the top and then 4 on the back. So enough to keep you vented, but not to get you too cold, especially when you're riding in colder weather. Now the visor, as I said, built in directly. 1000 logo on here. You have these nice exposed little rivets here. You have a little checkered flag decal on the back that really matches this GT stripe color scheme, and the pop lock. This is a really cool feature. It's magnetic, so you can easily pop it out of the way. They also include a warranty here, so if your helmet ever gets stolen with your lock attached to through this hole, they'll actually replace the helmet for free. As stealing this would require really cutting through half the helmet, so it'd be quite difficult. But definitely nice to have that guarantee. In terms of the fit system, a pretty standard dial system. This has a little cage that makes sure it cradles your back. Dual dial direction, really simple. A large rubberized dial here, so really easy to put on, and ratchets in one direction. Again, they paid a lot of attention to the design elements, so even the strap here, you have that 40 logo on here. And then the color really matches really well with this color scheme. Instead of being a generic black, this is a nice leather texture to it and the leather color that you're used to seeing. This is a vegan leather, really soft and quite easy to adjust as well. What's interesting here is you don't have that standard clasp here that will allow you to adjust this up and down. This is a more free-flowing design. So very minimalist, but it does mean for some people this may not fit that well, but for a majority of people we realize this is quite low. The adjustment point here is the standard little buckle here. This has a magnetic clasp, and something that you have to get a little bit used to. Like the first time I used it, it was a little bit odd because you're used to kind of unbuckling perpendicular. But with this, you actually have to go the other direction. But putting it on super easy. You get it close enough, let go. If we look at the inside of the helmet, this is a non-MIPS helmet, so you don't see that MIPS liner that you're more used to seeing with road biking helmets. You have this EPS foam that's designed to take the impact of a crash. So now let's do a little comparison between some other commuting style helmets. Here I have the Heritage helmet on the left. As I mentioned, this is $90. Then I have the Lazer Urbanize. This is one of Lazer's latest helmets. This is an e-bike or urban style helmet, which has a lot of cool features. Retails for $150, but you get a visor. You get a tail light that actually pops in the back. You also get a winter kit that's included. And then on the far right, I have the Coros helmet. So this has integrated speakers and Bluetooth connectivity as well as a crash sensor. So a more high-tech helmet that retails for $200. Now, right off the bat, you can see the design of the Heritage really sets the helmet apart from the other helmets on the market. Typically, you get matte single colors or maybe a dual color design with the Coros. But obviously, the Heritage, especially in the stripe version, really stands out. It looks a lot more urban and looks cooler than the other helmets. Now, profile-wise, you can see they're all pretty standard. Once you get to a commuter helmet, you get a longer back profile that you see in all the other helmets. Usually you get a bill. Now, they're usually, the visors are removable or not. With this, it's obviously built in. With the Coros, you can actually take it off. And you get minimal venting. And the idea here is with commuting, you're typically not riding that long. So that would require a lot of vents, as you would need with like a road biking helmet. So you can see with the Coros, you have these little elongated vents. And with the Lazer Urbanize, you just get vents around the side. Now, what's really cool about the Heritage is just the design elements. If we compare the Urbanize with it, you can see this has a MIPS liner, so a little bit safer. Now, 1000 is coming out with a MIPS variation, and that's something we will feature here once it's released. You can see with both the Urbanize and the 1000 helmet, you get the magnetic clasp, so almost identical. Really easy to use, but again, it's all about the details, and I think with the little 40 decal on here and then the leather texture and color on the straps of the Heritage helmet versus the leather straps on the Urbanize, which are just black. This one really just stands out, and with the orange on the interior, really pops versus the black on here. Fit system's usually pretty standard, and one nice comparison we can do here is that the Urbanize actually has something similar to the pop lock. So as you can see here, this is actually the taillight spot. This pops in, and you can also release it to reveal this little hole. Now, if you push the fit system out of the way, you can see you can put a lock through here and actually secure it. Now, compared to the pop lock of the 1000, I think the Urbanize is bigger, so you can maybe get a larger shackle through here. But it's less convenient because you really have to pull out that fit system. As you can see, you have to put pressure against it, while this side profile of the 1000 helmet makes it a little more convenient. But it's definitely interesting to see this feature on multiple helmets now. Now let's go over the pros and cons of the Heritage helmet. What I really like about the helmet is the magnetic buckle. It's a feature you typically see on more premium helmets, so it's really nice to see here. The other thing is the really unique color options and design details that really set this helmet apart from others on the market. Some of the color schemes look like they're one-off paintings versus something you'd buy off the shelf. Also, the integrated pop lock feature is a nice way to lock your bike and helmet together securely while you're on the go. Some of the cons of the helmet is the lack of MIPS. This is a technology you typically see on a lot of helmets these days, and it's nice to have that secondary kind of safety device. Also, there's a lack of side adjustments here, and in general, the helmet just feels less secure than other helmets we've ridden with. I think part of that is due to the fit system, which has a kind of floating design on the back, and it doesn't cradle your head as much as other helmets would. And finally, it's not available in XL sizing. It's just a standard small to large. Taking everything into account, we'd give the helmet an 8 out of 10. This is really a helmet you want to be seen in. I think the only negatives with it is the lack of MIPS or other secondary safety devices and the less secure fit. Otherwise, they have really beautiful color schemes and really nice design details. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us at our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.